You've learned to stay silent. You've learned to shrink into the background, to watch, to listen, to survive without demanding space. And for years, this quiet has been your shield. It kept you safe from chaos, from ridicule, from disappointment. But here's the paradox. The very silence that protected you is now what isolates you. You move through the world quietly, yet inside, a storm of observation, of overthinking, of self-judgment rages. People see calm, composure, sometimes even confidence, but no one sees the weight, the vigilance, the invisible exhaustion of being perpetually on alert. You were carrying a secret burden, one that whispers, "Be careful, be small, be unseen." And yet, this strategy, born from necessity, now sabotages the connections you crave, the self-expression you secretly long for. The thing that once saved you now keeps you trapped. What you are experiencing is not mere shyness. It is a subtle, often invisible psychological imprint, a survival mechanism shaped by early emotional neglect, overstimulation, or the need to parent yourself in a world that didn't notice your needs. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, an unconscious, constant monitoring of your environment to prevent harm. Your default mode network, the part of your brain responsible for self-reflection and imagination, becomes hyperactive in ways that make even ordinary moments feel loaded, intense. And often, your coping intersects with avoidant attachment, a pattern where intimacy feels dangerous and trust must be rationed carefully. This is more than personality. It's a rewiring. Your nervous system learned, "I survive by disappearing." And so, your brain and body perpetually prepare for a world that may not notice or protect you, even when you are surrounded by people who mean no harm. This quiet comes at a cost, an invisible grief few can see and fewer understand. Every laugh you stifle, every opinion you withhold, every step you shrink behind is a small fracture in your authentic self. You sacrifice connection for safety. You trade spontaneity for control. You trade expression for invisibility. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Yet before you can choose, the quiet has exacted a toll: loneliness in crowds, anxiety in silence, and a gnawing sense that life is passing while you observe rather than participate. Every ordinary human interaction can feel like a minefield because your survival instincts, once crucial, are now hyperactive echoes of a past that has long since ended. As an adult, this quiet becomes a pattern, a set of survival strategies masquerading as personality traits. You might avoid conflict at all costs, even when your voice is crucial. You might over-prepare or overthink every social interaction, exhausted before it even begins. You might struggle with boundaries, silently accepting what you don't want to protect harmony. You might appear self-sufficient, even when you long for support. You might feel guilty for expressing needs, as if needing is a betrayal of survival rules you internalized as a child. You might choose careers, relationships, or roles that reward compliance rather than authentic expression. These are not flaws. They are echoes of adaptation. The first step towards healing is witnessing your patterns, without judgment, without trying to fix yourself. Recognize, the quiet is a voice. It's a voice speaking through strategy, fear, and deep vigilance. Healing doesn't mean breaking the quiet. Healing means giving your quiet mind permission to soften, giving your inner child the care it never received, and reclaiming the space to exist fully. Through inner child reparenting, shadow work, and intentional practice of vulnerability, you can unlearn the unnecessary burdens that silence placed on you. Philosopher Rumi wrote, The wound is the place where the light enters you. Your quiet is a wound, yes, but also a doorway. The path to wholeness begins not by becoming loud, but by becoming whole, by choosing softness, by allowing connection without fear. You are not broken. You are a survivor. You are a thinker, an observer, a feeling being navigating a complex world with wisdom born from vigilance. And that hidden pain, it is proof of your depth, not your deficiency. Let this be the affirmation you carry forward. I see myself. I honor my quiet, and I allow my soul to speak in its own time.